In this session, I want to explain about annotation. About the types of dimensions. You can create several types of dimensions for a variety of object types in many orientations and alignments. The basic types of dimensioning are linear, radial, angular, ordinates, arc length, or stuff like that. Use the DIM command to create dimensions automatically according to the object type that you want to dimension. You can control the appearance of dimensions by setting up dimensions style or by editing individual dimensions in special cases. Dimension styles allow you to specify your conventions quickly and maintain industry or project dimensioning standards. To simplify drawing, organization, and dimension scaling, you can create dimensions on layout rather than in model space. First, linear dimension. Or you can type time for quick draw dimension. You can change the size and style of the dimension. This option. You can also create linear dimensions with extension lines that are not perpendicular to their dimension lines. They are called oblique dimensions and they are most commonly used with isometric drafting. In this case, the dimension lines angles will be oriented at 30 and 60 degrees depending on current isoplane. Radius dimension. A radius dimension measures the radius or diameter of arcs and circles with an optional center line or center mark. Several options are displayed in the illustration. Angular dimension. Angular dimensions measure the angle between two selected geometric options or 3 points. From left to right, the example shows angular dimensions created using a vertex and 2 points, an arc, or 2 lines. From left to right. Ordinate dimensions. Ordinate dimensions measure the perpendicular distances from an origin point called the datum, such as a hole in a part. These dimensions prevent escalating errors by maintaining accurate offset of feature from the datum. The datum is established by the current location of the UCS origin. Arc length dimensions. Arc length dimensions measure the distance along an arc or polyline's arc segment. Typical uses of arc length dimensions include measuring the travel distance around a cam or indicating the length of a cable. To differentiate them from linear or angular dimensions, arc length dimensions displays an arc symbol by default. The arc symbol, also called a hat or cap, is displayed either above the dimension text or preceding the dimension text. Now I want to explain about ladder comment. Creates a line that connects annotation of a feature. It is recommended that you use the workflow available through the mLeader command to create leader objects. Point specifications. Draw a leader line segment to the point specified and continues to prompt you for points of option. Annotation. Insert an annotation at the end of the leader line. The annotation can be single or multiple lines of text, a feature control frame containing geometric tolerance, or a block. Or mText creates text using the in-place text editor when you specify an insertion. Points at second point for text boundary. Now I want to explain about Measuregeom. object. Display measurements of geometry near the cursor in a 2D plan view. Measures the distance, radius, angle, area, and volume of selected objects or sequence of points. The Measuregeom command performs many of the same calculations as follow commands: area, distance, mass properties. Distance. Measure the distance between specified points aligned with x, y, and z component distances and angle relative to UCS. Area. Measure the area and perimeter of an object or defined area. Specify corner points calculates the area of perimeter defined by specified points. Area, circumference. Or you can add area, turns on add mode, and keeps the running total of area as you define areas. Or subtract area. You can subtract a specified area from a total area. Or also you can measure volume. For measuring the volume, you can measure the volume of an object or defined area. Measuring the volume of an object, you can select a 3D solid or 2D object. If you selected a 2D object, you must specify height for that object. If you define an object by specifying points, you must specify at least 3 points to define a polygon. All must lie on a plane parallel to the XY plane of the UCS. If you don't close the polygon, an area will be calculated as if a line existed between the first and last point entered. If you enter the arc, length, or undo options, additional options similar to those for creating a polyline are displayed. You can choose add volume, subtract volume, or another options in this command. In the next session, I want to explain about 3D commands.